Return of the Jedi speeder bike vehicle from 1983 by Kenner. And since it's Kenner, there's characters all over the front that don't come with this particular vehicle, but it does have action speed flaps. I actually got one of these for Christmas in 1983 or 84, I can't remember which, but I do remember the blow apart feature, and the particular one I had quite a hair trigger on that feature, so it blew apart a lot more than it flew around. The back's just a repeat of the same picture that's on the front, and the side is not really much to speak of, but this one is still sealed, so I'm not really sure what kind of state we're going to find the speeder bike itself inside. There is a concerning bulge right here, and nobody likes a concerning bulge. So let's open this up and see what we find. My guess is that since it's Kenner, it's going to be a styrofoam plate with cutouts that it's just going to be holding the vehicle, and that's probably about it. Oh, it's plastic. What do we have? Okay, we got some cool stuff here. Have a Return of the Jedi collections catalog of some sort. New figures. Looks like a lot of stuff from Jabba's palace. Some Empire stuff on this side. The bandolier to hold your guys. I had the Darth Vader collector case, I remember. It had a habit of whenever you closed it, it just kind of dumped all the figures out inside anyway. On those bizarre little mini rigs. Had a couple of those too. Speeder bike, what we're talking about today. Jabba, Y-Wing, poor Y-Wing. Y-Wing was always one of my favorites, and he just gets dogged on so much. I always wanted that thing, the Rebel transports, and I never even had any friends or anybody who had the massive AT-AT, so I never got to see that in action. This thing, which I suspect Kenner reused for the Ewok village for their terrible Robin Hood Prince of Thieves live. It looks a lot like Sherwood Forest. Blaster with no orange safety tip on it yet. I actually had that Play-Doh set, of all things. Micro sets, kind of before the Micro Machine craze came about. Yeah, this is pretty cool. Fan club membership. Pretty nice. It's in good shape. Instructions manual, I assume. There's not really much to this set. It's a cool line right though. It's got a little bit of yellowing, but not too bad. You can tell which part has been on top. We really do care. If your laser gun, quote unquote, comes out, snap it into the underside plate of your vehicle. I like how a lot of these are just repairing damage to the thing if it falls apart. And there's a T-bar that just comes up and holds the figure in place in the crotch because Star Wars guys just could never bend at the knees. Pretty rudimentary figures. Well, it looks like it's in pretty decent shape here. If I remember right, you take the kind of stabilizer and it just kind of sits while the main body part goes into that slot. Yep. You know, once you learn how to put your speeder bike together, you don't forget. I just thought this is such a great design, though. The large offset kind of air scoop. Here's the much lauded air flaps that depress when the vehicle sits. T-bar, and we grabbed a figure here to see how this works out. I brought Bossk because Bossk. Although he's not going to be able to hold on to these with his flipper hands, but you know, he'd make do, I'm sure. Yeah. There we go. And he can hold one of them, sort of. Good enough, right, Bossk? Yeah. It always looked kind of disappointing when you got the whole thing together, because of what stupid way the Kenner figures sit on things. But not bad. It's a great little vehicle. Brings back some memories for sure. Got the laser on the bottom. And of course, you got to do the big finish, the action feature. If it still works and the spring is still in there. Oh yes. Well, doesn't give much better way to end a video than that, I suppose. So, thanks for watching. It's been a 1983 Kenner speeder bike. And I have more vintage toys being opened and manhandled and exploding all over the place. So, you know, thanks for watching.